Today, I woke up to a flurry of messages telling me that the Yu-Gi-Oh and Vanguard community are beefing over something absolutely insane. And I thought to myself, what could they possibly be beefing over? And I checked it out, and my gosh, this is probably one of the dumbest controversies, and I put controversies very lightly here, that I've actually ever seen in the card game community. I don't want to waste any time. We're just going to get right into it, and I'm going to explain all this stupidity. This sector is primarily male, so we want to encourage more girls and women to join the community. Now, this is a card shop it's a Geek Retreat in Newport, and I'm going to assume this is the owner. Now, nothing's wrong with this first statement here. Now, I'm not too shocked that it's primarily male because a lot of nerdy-esque hobbies and activities, including card games, are primarily male. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a fact. Just like how some spaces are primarily female, right? And then there's a lot of, hobbies and activities that both men and women enjoy basically about equally. But we want to encourage more girls and women to join the community. That's great. More players playing the game, more fun, more business for the shop as well, right? And it's overall really cool, right? Nothing wrong with this. Seems like a great idea. Okay, so how are they going to get more girls and women to join the card store? Are they going to advertise to them? Are they going to try to talk to more women that they know in their lives and try to get them into this hobby to not only get more women in the hobby, but maybe develop a deeper, friendship and have more people in the community? There's other ways they could do it. What way do you guys think they're going to put more women in the community? Well, let me tell you, one way we're doing that, for example, is we don't stock a game called Card Fight Vanguard. It just didn't fit the family-friendly theme we have here. So, as someone who actually knows a decent amount about the Vanguard community, just because I have a lot of friends who play Vanguard, as well as I've been to events before, as someone who doesn't really play the game. I've tried it, it's just not my cup of tea, but it's a fun game for some people, for sure. This game definitely has way more women than Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic combined, I would say. Definitely more than Yu-Gi-Oh! For sure. And I could say that because if you're new and you're to my channel and you're just watching this as a one-off video because you're a Vanguard player, I mostly do Yu-Gi-Oh! I go to big events, and I know it quite well. Vanguard, and I've been to events with Vanguard to cheer on my friends and just hang out, get drunk, and party at the room. With some other people, which is actually really fun. I've actually been, the 2 Vanguard events I've been to were actually really fun for me. But when I went to encourage my friends, I saw a lot of women there. And I actually, before doing this video, I actually asked a few of my Vanguard friends how this was, because some of them have heard about the controversy, some of them haven't. And almost all of them said there was more women than men. Well, not more women than men. That's stupid. More women in Vanguard than any other card game. So to exclude a card game that brings in the most women to bring in more women is the stupidest thing. Now, maybe he doesn't know about Card Fight Vanguard, right? And he only knows, this, right? How, Vanguard is, again, it's a Japanese game. They like their fan service, and they like their big anime titties. I love some big titties myself, so I can't really blame them. But, some things from Japan don't translate into the West, and again, it's 2 different cultures. That's a whole different discussion for a different video that I would make. Definitely not on this channel, but maybe if I make a channel where I talk about other things, which if you guys want to see that, let me know in the comment section below, as well as leaving a like and subscribing if you guys could. If you're buying any cards off TCG Player, please use my link down in the description below. Helps out the channel to no additional cost to you, and blah blah blah, more plugging. The dumbest thing also about this is, if you guys obviously know, I run a shop online. I don't have my physical storefront yet. I do plan on getting one eventually, but not stalking a card game for virtual signal points on Twitter is probably the dumbest business decision you could make. And if they go under or suffer from this decision, I have zero sympathy. To not stock a game because it's not family friendly, aka boba, is probably just one of the dumbest things you could probably do. Not only are you alienating a bunch of people who play this game from your cards store, But people who don't even play this game or have no stake in it will see this and get pissed off and go to another card store to buy stuff. Or they will, even if they do choose, because they might be closer to you, to buy stuff, if it's ever a choice, they're gonna buy from somewhere else. This isn't gonna bring women in, and this isn't gonna bring in people in general. People think, like, listen, this might get likes on Twitter.com, but this doesn't actually bring in business, right? People aren't gonna look, oh wow, they banned Cardfight Vanguard because of boobies. Man, I really want to go play at that card store. This is just so stupid. Like, I've actually supported some family-friendly and I'm not even gonna say family-friendly, kid-friendly card stores, and it ended up being one of the factors that put them under the dirt, meaning that they just couldn't operate as a business anymore. And one of the card stores, I have to admit, I didn't really like, again, I was younger at the time, and I decided to help them just out of my heart. I didn't actually bring in players because there was some advantage for me. I just wanted to help out the card store. And I ended up bringing them like 6, 7, 8 people to play in their tournaments. And if you guys know, that's quite a lot. And they ended up kind of ruining it for themselves with, not only the kid family friendly stuff, and I mean being very kid family friendly. I don't mean acting like a human being normally and not having a mat, which is basically full on nudity, right? I'm talking like they'd ban any anime mat. I don't really want to talk about the card store too much because I actually feel really bad for the owner because of personal reasons and all that. But I've seen where this train goes. Very stupid decision here. Now, one of the reasons why Vanguard is also on fire is this card right over here, which is if you had to compile a top 100 ecchi, aka perverted, cards, fan service cards, to put it more bluntly, for Vanguard, this would not make the top 100. It might now because it's in a controversy, and the controversy alone could get in the top 100. But excluding that, Vanguard's had much more fan service oriented cards than this. The only issue with this is that it's played in more than just its clan. It's played in other decks, kind of as a generic card, and is quite meta relevant from what I've heard. Now, I don't know what the card does or anything like that, but I've seen Vanguard cards with more, titty than this. This seems normal, if anything, to me. This doesn't seem anything to complain about, but a lot of people are kind of losing their minds saying, oh, the card design is bad, blah, blah, blah. Now, personally, I think if fan service has a reason being there, it's a lot better. For example, Vanguard actually has this archetype where the women actually lure in people in order to murder them, and they do that, through seductive means, meaning that the whole archetype has a reason for fan service, not just to be nice on the eyes, whilst this probably exists mostly or mainly just to be nice on the eyes. And I can understand that sentiment to a T, but the issue where I start having problems with some of the community is where they'll look at this and they just start having a fit over it. Look, it's a drawing. That's literally what it is. It's a drawing on a cardboard. This has nothing to do with real life. This isn't going to affect your life. It's just a titty in a card game. If you don't like it, you think it's cringe or whatever, that's completely fine. Or you think it's weird, right? I completely understand those opinions, actually. The one thing I don't understand people saying, oh man, I'm super uncomfortable with it, as they, post nudes of themselves online, or, they just have it, they want, again, like I said, they want to throw a little baby rage for it. And a lot of people on Twitter have been doing that. Now, Farfa actually cracked the news on this, which is, I believe he did because this is the person I'm seeing the most for this. This is actually pretty funny as a diss here. Now, there are some funny replies here, and I do want to know what you guys think in the comment section below of this. I will say the worst take I've seen for this is there was a, what I would like to call a pillar of the Yugi Twitter community, which, if you guys are new to Vanguard as well, I want to say that Yugi Twitter does not portray the Yugi community at all. The people on Yugi Twitter are extremely progressive, and I don't think being progressive is always a bad thing, but there's definitely times where it's taken too far, as people say, social justice warrior culture and all that. And a lot more than it should, the progressive people on Twitter. I mean, it's Twitter. I don't really have to continue this statement. But the worst one I've seen from one of those people is how this was a W for feminism, as she proceeded to go and tell people, hey, does anyone have this card, by the way? And it was like another ecchi card in the same form. I don't know if it was a joke or not. I think it was a joke, so maybe I'm just clowning on myself here, but with Twitter, you really don't know what's a joke or not. But we want to go over some of these replies here. Digimon players, we stay winning. No one cares if our cards are family friendly or not. And you got a huge muscly dinosaur woman, I think, with some titties. That's pretty based. You know, when the regionals are free, straight to Worlds, free water, snacks, entry prize, mostly women and friendly people, large turnouts on the West Coast. Most of the card artworks are good and not a boba. IDK, man, seems pretty pog. I this run-on sentence wants everything. I can't really comment on this because this just straight up does make much sense, but whatever. The meme is funny though. Have you ever met a fucking girl before? Meta this, meta that. That's pretty funny. For context, this is a recently released Vanguard card. This looks normal to me. Whatever. You know. Now, there is this, and this actually really sucks, because the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is so family-friendly right now. I will admit, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is way worse to women than Vanguard by far. Now, this story was cracked a couple days ago. Long story short, a woman on a team actually ended up topping, and she gave her virtual world deck profile. And she, it was just a normal of your mill deck profile. And what ended up happening is she got a lot of simp comments, a lot of harassment, a lot of really cringy stuff. Basically, the whole I've never interacted with a woman, I'm going to be super creepy online type of people. And she ended up actually wanting the video down, and I think I know the comments as well. And that really sucks, right? But this story actually was really sad. But the point I'm trying to make here, and I guess the point maybe Brian might be trying to make here as well, is that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community and a lot of card game communities, it's the community that's basically the issue, not a little bit of titty on a card. I think most, and I don't care, I'm going to speak for most men and women here, don't care about the titties online. If they think it's weird, that's one thing, but they're going to still play the card game and be normal. They're just maybe not going to play the deck or be like, I just don't like the art, and go along their normal day, go to their jobs, go to their families like normal people. And that's it, right? It's definitely a community type of thing, and then there's some other awful comments here, but I'll be honest with you here. I don't really want to have this discourse with the Yugi Twitter community or whatever, because we're all just going to complain and cry and just dislike each other off opinions we're probably going to forget in like a week besides our hatred. So I don't really want to get into that. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below though. I definitely think this is an awful business move. Definitely a go get woke, go broke move. On the business, I think the people crying about the anime titties are kind of weird. And that's kind of my 2 cents on it. We're going to be back to your normal YGO videos very shortly. You guys will probably get the case opening probably tomorrow or maybe later tonight. Maybe I'll give you guys a double upload, hopefully. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.